here. Let's take Megan's Law that was supposed to stop all the child molesting crimes and never did. These laws don't work. People quit begging for money and junking up my email account. They don't work. I mean, let's get real. And quit. Take that. I'll give you $3 if you want to go buy kid lunch that's going hungry today. But I'm not giving you $3 to go pass some idiotic legislation that is not going to stop a crime. To me, it's a waste of taxpayers' money. It's a waste of everybody involved. But these lobby people sure have become very efficient in grinding out their mission to collect money and make a living doing so.
Well, I bet they won't get a lot of signatures at the crossroads of the West Gun Show this Saturday at the convention.
You know what?
Really? It's
I've never even able to get an organization going like that. That to me, again, it's crazy. A new test on marijuana. You ready for this?
Sure. Okay.
A test on
King's College of London, and I hope I say this one right, Sapienza University of Rome. They did a study of marijuana, and these guys are rocket scientists, I'll tell you. They came up with what they call so-called skunk marijuana, and they postulated that the differences in THC content between the marijuana today is different than the $20 lid that was bought back in the 60s.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
No bull. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things, this isn't a GMO, but marijuana is a very easy plant to target certain elements in it. What makes the THC stronger is nitrogen. Get a nitrogen fertilizer, and you can get darker, greener plants, and it just... But most of this stuff has been fed. If you feed, they call this weed for a reason. It grows anywhere, and that's one of my firm beliefs. The reason that there has been such a hesitation in our government saying, okay, let's throw this towel out, it really isn't as bad as we've said it is, and change their position on that is because they cannot control it like they do alcohol and tobacco. Marijuana grows, I don't care where you throw a seed, it's going to grow if it gets water. Mm-hmm. So you really have a control issue there, and I think maybe that's what they're talking about. But what this study was, they're talking about the psychoactive component of the THC in the higher concentrations, and it may affect the white matter of the brain. And the white matter, and this is what they said, the white matter damage was significantly greater among heavy users of high-potency cannabis than the occasional or low-potency users, and was also independent of the presence of a psychotic disorder. The white matter, for those who don't know, that's the part in between your brain that connect the spheres so they communicate to each other. So they're saying, maybe there's a possibility to that.
Okay.
Hey, how about that guy Jim Irsay? I want him to adopt me, man.
Who? Irsay.
Jim Irsay.
Yeah. Well,
$2.2 million for Ringo's drum kit. And I got to say this. If I had that kind of money, I would have been bidding against him because I would have got it. That would have been, that would have, you know what, anybody that is a collector, something like that, an item like that is kind of the pinnacle of everything. That's just unbelievable there.
Well, that's the same family that moved the Colts out of Baltimore. Moved
in the middle of the night or something,
or moved the Colts out of wherever, Baltimore, and
moved Baltimore, went to
Indianapolis or something like that, and then no, it was the other way around. They went to Baltimore, and then somebody sued and said you can't take the name Colts or however it worked. But he moved the team out, from Indianapolis or to Baltimore or vice versa.
Yeah. Well, that's what the city of Cleveland did to Modell when he moved the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
They said, no, Cleveland Browns, we franchised that. They kept Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
The city franchised
That's how
them?
Baltimore became the Ravens. Yeah,
Ravens.
The city grabbed that name, but that was done after Irsay did what he did. And a lot of teams went out and did that. They franchised Cleveland Browns, St. Louis Cardinals, and then they moved anyways. And now you have the Rams there. But a lot of those teams, that's what they did. So if the owner decided to do an Al Davis or Modell or whatever, they could still keep the name and get a new team.
Oh,
Kind of a shrewd business move. It's like if one of my competitors would copyright the name Alliday.
Well,
They have a tough time getting away with it because it's part of two people's names, and I don't know how that intricacy that stuff works, but that's kind of the same principle as doing that with the names. What was it? The Lakers coach. Remember the Lakers coach? He did a deal on 3P.
oh,
Riley.
yeah. Riley, he patented or trademarked 3-peat, and he made T-shirts and all that stuff. Yeah.
Made a buttload of money on it too.
Now, see, my mind's going. It was Baltimore that moved to Indianapolis
right.
and became the Indianapolis Colts. The Cleveland Browns, Irsay owned the Cleveland Browns, moved in the dark of night.
Modell.
Or was it Modell?
Art Modell was the Cleveland Browns.
Well, who was the Irsay was the Colts then, and moved
Yeah.
to Baltimore. Modell owned the Browns and moved to Baltimore, where
Right.
the Colts used to be, and Cleveland sued Modell for the name of the Browns, and they had to keep the name of the Browns, and then they became the Baltimore Ravens, and then the league granted Cleveland an expansion team 3 years, so they had 3 years to build a
Yeah.
franchise. So yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
the University of John, what was his name, Dutton, the quarterback from UNR, was the first new quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in the era.
I remember that. Yeah.
John, I think it was John Dutton was his name. But
I must have been totally involved in other parts of life to not even remember.
must have been. Then they drafted some whiz-bang quarterback that can't miss, and he ended up being another Ryan Leaf. And
Menzel.
no, not Mitch.
Oh no! They got a kid out of Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was a big bust, though. He just
Yeah, he was one of those guys that was supposed to, be the second coming of Unitas or something. I don't know, man.
yeah, it didn't work out so well. But yeah, what can you say?
Yeah.
Hey, we're coming up on crunch time. Whom do your elected officials represent? Right now, we have a whole slew of legislatures getting ready to attach riders to everything to a must-pass bill. And I think this is basically legislation, they're kidnapping the voters. It's just not... Maybe as a people, we need to start having a conversation about that procedure for legislation, because when they attach a rider to a spending bill that has to be passed, it's pretty much a slam dunk that's going to come through. And things like this food labeling issue is that's one of the biggest issues there. And of course, gun lobbying people they're going to make us all safe by passing some inane gun law. And that's how they do this. They attach it at the last minute, so nobody has any time to do anything about it, and they can't mobilize and say, hey, well, wait a minute. Let's call everybody and say no. And it's become to me, it's abuse of the legislative process. If we were out here doing something on the slide, not paying taxes on it or something, well, we're going to get our butt thrown in jail. So why do we allow, and the reality is, we the people continue to allow them to do this, regardless of, they keep saying, and I'm going to use the food labeling issue with Barack Obama. He stated in 2007, the American people deserve to know what's in their food. I promise food labeling. The excuse once he got elected was there's policies in place. And I'm sorry, I don't know who bumped their head in Washington. Policies are created out of a need. The policies they created out of a need were for monetary gain, pecuniary greed at its finest. They were not to protect the people, and they're a policy. They're written. They can be changed every day. If you're in a business, you routinely change policy once or twice a year due to changing laws or stuff that go on in society. Why are we going on a policy? It's a policy. It's not a law.
Well,
and that's how they're trying to come across it. Well, the policies, I don't care what the policy said, it was written by this guy. We got to have an avenue to rewrite a policy.
Well,
are they that dumb in Washington? I don't know.
Apparently they are. But that's the way things are done. And we talked about it earlier with the school board. the best way to
Yeah.
do something is kick it down the road. We'll decide upon it. We're going to form a blue ribbon committee. We'll delay it for more facts. We'll do whatever it takes to do that, but that seems to be the way of politics in this country. Aaron, I hate to say this, but we're running out of time this hour. How do we get a hold of you at Alladay LLC?
Hey, 775-230-9915. You can talk to me on the phone. Ski information, folks. Slopes are all open in HamiltonSkiLine.com up there on that World Wide Web. It is www.AlladayLLC.com. We're going to have a great day. Happy hump day, everybody.
All right.
Be safe out there.
Alrighty, thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and boy, phew, got about 2. We can't go to another call, but we got about 2 minutes. What do we have on the text?
Okay.